What's up, Broncos Country? Get ready, because what I'm about to tell you will make you understand exactly why Sean Payton is one of the shrewdest coaches in this league. While everyone was celebrating that hard-fought victory against the Raiders on Thursday, the Broncos front office was cooking something up behind the scenes. And look, when I say cooking, it's because this move was surgical, my friend. It was a move that brings in a guy who has a championship ring, tons of experience, and knows our division rivals very well. Stick with me until the end, because this signing could completely change the game against the Chiefs on Sunday. The Broncos just pulled Geron Christian from the Cowboys practice squad. That's right, you heard that correctly. They pulled him from there and brought him straight to the 53-man active roster here in Denver. But hold on, this wasn't just any ordinary signing. This guy has credentials, has mileage, and most importantly, has something that few players in the league can say they have. A Super Bowl ring won with who exactly? With the Kansas City Chiefs in 2022. Let me explain the perfect timing of this move. The Broncos are sitting at 8 wins and 2 losses, leading the division on a 7-game winning streak. The offensive line, which is the foundation of any team that wants to go far in the playoffs, has taken some hard hits. Ben Powers, our starting left guard, suffered a nasty biceps injury and went straight to injured reserve. Matt Peart also went down with a knee injury and is out. Suddenly, the depth that seemed solid started to look concerning, and that's where Geron Christian comes in. This 29-year-old veteran with 8 seasons in the league is no lost rookie. The guy was selected in the 3rd round of the 2018 draft by Washington, came out of Louisville, and since then has traveled the entire league. He's been through Houston, Kansas City, Cleveland, Los Angeles Rams. In 63 career games, 23 of them as a starter. The guy knows what pressure is, knows what it's like to play in big games. But let's talk about what really matters here, family. When Christian was with the Chiefs in 2022, he played 10 games in the regular season. Didn't get into the playoffs, but he was there. Saw up close how Patrick Mahomes operates, knows Steve Spagnuolo's defensive scheme, knows how that team thinks, how that team prepares. And now he's wearing orange and blue right in the week we're facing those guys. Think about it. The Chiefs are coming off the bye week, rested, but also coming off a loss to the Bills. They're sitting at 5 wins and 4 losses, in 3rd place in the division. But don't be fooled. These guys have the 4th best defense in points allowed and the 6th best overall defense in the league. They have one of the highest blitz rates in the championship, sitting there in the top 6. They're going to come at us with everything. The Broncos' offensive line is going to need to be sharp, synchronized, playing as a cohesive unit. Garrett Bowles on the left, Mike McGlinchey on the right, and now with Christian coming in to add depth. Alex Palczewski took over Powers' spot and has done a decent job, but having another body, more experience, more options on the bench, that's pure gold down the stretch of the season. And check this out. Christian's agent, Keith Houston, confirmed the move and said the guy would already be at practice on Wednesday. In other words, barely finished signing, and he's already on the field. This shows urgency, shows that the Broncos know every snap counts now. Every play could be the difference between securing a playoff spot comfortably or having to sweat until the last week. Now, let's be realistic here. Christian probably won't start Sunday's game. His role should be as a backup, possibly getting some snaps on special teams, learning the system, serving as quality depth for Crum and the starters. But just having him there ready to go in if someone gets hurt or if rotation is needed is already huge. And there's more. When Ben Powers comes back, probably in December if everything goes well in recovery, then the offensive line will have enviable depth. Palczewski can return to his natural role as backup tackle. Christian stays as a versatile option who can play both tackle and guard. And suddenly you have 5-6 guys who can come in and hold it down. Talk to me. Broncos Country, what do you think of this move? Comment down below. And if you're enjoying this content, if you're truly part of this orange and blue family, hit that subscribe button now. Turn on notifications so you don't miss any bombs the Broncos drop from here on out. Because, my friend, this season is on fire, and we're going to be here to comment on every play, every decision, every victory. But let me tell you something you might not know about Christian. In 2024, he played 5 games split between the Rams and Browns. Wasn't a starter in any of them, but kept in shape, stayed relevant. In 2023, started 9 games for the Browns. In 2020, started 6 games for Washington. In 2021, started 8 for the Texans. This guy knows zone schemes, knows power blocking, has faced the best pass rushers in this league, and when you combine that with the fact that Sean Payton is one of the most meticulous coaches in the NFL when it comes to the offensive line, man, that's pure chemistry. Payton knows exactly how to use every piece on the board. He doesn't hire anyone randomly. If Christian is here, it's because there's a plan, there's a purpose. Think about the pressure our line will face on Sunday. The Chiefs are going to send Chris Jones. They're going to send blitzes from everywhere. They're going to try to destabilize Bo Nix any way they can. Nix has already shown he can take a hit, that he's got courage and doesn't get intimidated. But he needs time in the pocket, needs holes for R.J. Harvey to run through, needs the guys in front of him to do the dirty work, and that's where having veterans comes in. Christian might not play a single snap on Sunday, but just being on the sideline, just being able to talk to Bullis, to McGlinchey, to Palchevsky about what he saw when he faced the Chiefs in practice, about their defense's tendencies, about how they like to pressure, that's intelligence, man. That's inside information wearing our uniform. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The Broncos are going to need to make a roster move, cut someone to open a spot for Christian. We still don't know who it's going to be. Could be someone from the practice squad being promoted and another being released. Could be someone going to injured reserve that hasn't been announced yet. Either way, this is always the hardest part of professional football. Someone's going to lose their job for Christian to get this opportunity. But that's how it works. It's pure sports Darwinism. The strongest, the most prepared, the most useful to the team stays. And at this moment, with the injuries we've suffered, with the game against the Chiefs knocking on the door, Christian represents something we desperately needed: security. And let's agree on one thing. The way the Broncos front office acted quickly on this deserves applause. They saw Christian available on the Cowboys practice squad, knew any team could grab him, didn't hesitate. They went there, made the offer, brought him to the active roster. That's being proactive. That's thinking 3 moves ahead. Like in a chess game, the Cowboys must be biting their fingers now. Lost a guy with experience, right? When their offensive line isn't exactly great either. But their problem is our gain, Broncos Country. We got a veteran who can make a difference when we need him, especially if we make it to the playoffs, and every healthy body is worth gold. Speaking of playoffs, have you noticed the position we're in? 8-2, best start since 2015 when we won Super Bowl 50, 7 straight wins. The defense playing at an absurd level, holding the Raiders to just 7 points last Thursday. Talanoa Hufanga making plays that show up in the week's highlights. Pat Surtain suffocating receivers. Zach Allen destroying quarterbacks. But you don't win titles with defense alone. We need the offensive line holding things down. We need Bo Nix having time to make reads, to find Cortland Sutton open, to hit Marvin Mims Jr. on deep routes, to distribute the ball to the tight ends. And for that to happen, the 5 guys up front have to function like a machine. Christian arrives to be one more gear in that machine. Might not be the main one, but sometimes it's that small piece you don't even see that keeps everything running. It's that 6th man who comes in and doesn't let the level drop. It's that veteran who, in the clutch moment, when there's someone injured, tired, ejected, comes in and does the job without complaining. And another thing you can't ignore. Having a guy who was a Super Bowl champion in the locker room is always positive. He can sit down with Bo Nix, who's in his first season, and say, "Man, I've been there. I know what it takes. This is what you need to do." That transmission of knowledge, that informal mentorship that happens in practice, on flights, in the hotel before games, is worth more than any $1-million contract. The Broncos have a window open now. The team is playing well. Confidence is high. The division is within our reach. But the NFL is cruel, family. One injury here, another there, and suddenly you've got the 3rd or 4th name on the list playing. That's why depth matters. That's why having 10, 12 guys who can rotate on the offensive line without losing much quality is essential. And Christian represents exactly that. He didn't come here to be all-pro. He didn't come here to have a historic season. He came here to be reliable, to be available, to be ready when called. And sometimes, especially in January and February when games mean everything, that's what wins championships. So when you see the Broncos taking the field on Sunday against the Chiefs, when you see that offensive line lined up, remember that behind those 5 guys, there are 6 or 7 more ready to come in. And one of them now has a Super Bowl ring that he won against the very team we're about to face. That's strategy. Broncos Country. That's Sean Payton and George Payton working behind the scenes to ensure this team has everything it needs to compete for the title. They're not playing around. They saw the opportunity and grabbed it, saw Christian available and thought, this guy can help us, and brought him home. Now the ball is in Christian's court. He has to arrive, learn the playbook quickly, mesh with teammates, show he deserves to be here. And knowing the mentality of guys who've already won Super Bowls, you can bet he's going to give blood in every practice, on every snap, on every opportunity he gets, and we, as fans, as Broncos Country, have to support. Have to welcome this guy with open arms, have faith in his work, trust that when the time comes, he'll be ready. Because that's how you build a championship team. It's not just with the stars, not just with the first names on the list. It's with everyone buying in, everyone rowing in the same direction. The Chiefs are coming. They're coming rested, they're coming focused. They really want to beat us after seeing us take off in the division lead. But we have home field, we have fans, we have a team that's playing the best football of the season. And now we have one more experienced veteran who knows them from the inside. Sunday's going to be war, family. It's going to be that classic divisional game, hard, physical, where every possession matters. And when it's over, when the dust settles, we'll know if these moves the front office made, including signing Christian. We're worth it. But one thing I guarantee you, Broncos Country, this team is prepared. This team is built. And this team is hungry to get back to where we've always belonged, at the top of the AFC West, fighting for the Super Bowl, making Mile High Stadium shake again. So that's it, family. Jaron Christian is a Bronco now, another soldier in the orange and blue army, another guy willing to give everything for the jersey, to block until he can't anymore, to protect our quarterback, to open lanes for our running backs. Welcome to Denver, Christian. Welcome to the best fan base in the NFL. And you, who's watching this far, you already know what to do. Drop that like, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed yet. Share this video with everyone in Broncos Country, you know. Because we're in this together, game after game, signing after signing, victory after victory. Comment below what you expect from Christian in a Broncos uniform. Do you think he'll play on Sunday? Do you think this signing was good? Are you excited for the game against the Chiefs? I want to hear everyone's opinion. And don't forget, Sunday we have a big game. Broncos and Chiefs at home for the division lead, for the winning streak, for respect. It's going to be epic. And we'll be here after the game to comment on every play, every decision, every moment that defines this matchup. Until then, Broncos Country. Wear orange and blue with pride. Make noise at the stadium if you're there, and trust the process. This team is special. This season is special, and we're going to enjoy every second of it. Big hug, family. See you in the next video. And remember, once a Bronco, always a Bronco.